Morning, folks.
Hey everybody.
It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're away with the Mancini family. My good friend Eric, he's in real estate. And for the last week or so, we've been getting up about 6 o'clock before the kids, before our wives are awake, and we're going for a walk. We've done, who knows, I don't know, I didn't even count my steps for the first time.
Probably 10 Ks a day.
So we're doing 10 Ks in the morning. Today we've decided to walk up this hill. Communications tower in front of me, and behind me is an awesome view of the valley. You know, Bright's just over there, and it's a bit nippy, eh?
About 4 degrees.
So it's a bit cold. But when we climbed up to this hill, I was in a t-shirt, I was huffing and puffing, so it's taking a little while to compose myself. And just like in these crazy times, and Eric calls it
I'll call it a upside down world. We're living in these unprecedented times, and we need to look at things with a different perspective.
So whilst we've been away, there's things that we've done with our families that we wouldn't normally do. So we've gone harder with our physical well-being. We've gone harder with our mental well-being. So Eric and I, we've gone for walks each morning. We're having a very similar conversation each morning because we're trying to chip away at this big problem.
Yeah,
a problem that we can't even control.
Yeah, exactly. We've been talking about proximity with our friends, that we mentor each other. You know, we share our problems. We come up with different perspective on the situation. Yesterday, while we were walking in the afternoon, I had a lot of proximity with my son. Those opportunities wouldn't have never happened if we weren't together. So we're using this time wisely because we are forced to be together instead of, listening to the white noise. Yesterday, I had a really great opening with my little son that I think it is priceless. Priceless for him and the connection, but also priceless for me as his father.
That's great. And like with your son, what we did as a tribe yesterday, so both our families, between our families, we've got lots of kids, hey?
Yeah.
It's like
the Brady Bunch.
There's a lot of kids. So we took our regular walk with the whole family. So we walked from where we were staying into town. That was a big hike, wasn't it?
A huge hike.
So we spent the afternoon in town, and then we decided to walk back. But on the way back, it was challenging because our bellies are full. We've got groceries, we've got toys, so we got baggage with us. And so what we decided was, okay, you know what? We need to save our kids. Mm-hmm. So we walked to the top of the hill, and I started running back to our accommodation to fetch the car. So I get to the car, I chuck out the baby, so I make as much room as I can, drive the car back, and we get all the kids. The kids didn't even ask. What did they do? Just open the door and just jump straight in. So, and what did we teach our kids? We taught them about endurance. And this is that key word, endurance. The endurance in this time for ourselves as leaders, for ourselves as husbands, as fathers, and for you out there. Endurance, we need to endure through this time. Whether it's, you need to persist or you need to just stand and wait, whatever is going on for you, you need to endure. And for us, it's, going away, we're having conversations about, we also talk about, like, what other business ideas can we do? What other things can we do? Travel around Australia, that's been a dream for me for a long time. And I think this man is going to do it. He's decided.
Well, the way I see it, we're all going through the same situation in different colour tinnies, I call it. John's going through his trials, I'm going through mine, your neighbour's going through theirs. So instead of fighting the wind, I say, why don't we just harness the wind and use it to our advantage? So for me and my family, I'm now temporarily on leave, forced leave. So I've had on my list that I wanted to do a road trip. So why don't we harness this time, spend time with our family, and hit the road? So we're going to use this breakdown and generate a breakthrough.
Yeah, that's good, man.
So that's it's not all the answers, but spending time with my family and in the great outdoors, I just can't see the negative there.
That's really good. And for us in our family, we're as busy as ever. Our phones are ringing hot. And for me, I'm a big promoter of taking a break. Even though when we're in lockdown, we're at home, we're restricted, we can walk around, we can move. But I could move. My kids couldn't. If, with my job, we could move around anywhere because that's the type of work that we've got in our business. So our holidays have been cancelled 3 times throughout the lockdown. I think we got through to lockdown 6.0. And as soon as lockdown was lifted, we just rebooked our place and we went. Yes, the phones are still ringing. Yes, we're losing income. Yes, the work may not be there when we come back because someone else has pinched it. But that's okay because what is important is my family. What is important is Eric's family. We've got 2 different situations, but we're putting family first. Family is number one. They are, like, you know, before we were just up on the hill there, we were just praying and we were talking about how our family is our rock. They're on the bottom of the hill right now, but they're our biggest cheer squad, from our children to our wives. They're the ones that are cheering us on. They're the ones that are persevering with us. So what do we need to do? We need to honor them. We need to spend time with them. We need to love them. And we need to have fun. It's very hard to have fun during these times. It's very hard to smile. But boy, we have been having fun. I think one of my favourite bits watching Eric this weekend is, I know this guy loves washing socks.
I've got ACD.
You know, it's been raining, it's muddy. You ran out of socks on like day 1.
I actually said to Rev, maybe we do a laundry mat or something. Organic laundry.
See, at home, like we live in suburbia, we don't have this sock problem, right? We don't have wet sock problem. Why? Because the kids don't even get to go outside, really. Outside is synthetic grass, beautiful concrete, but out here...
Wet socks.
Wet socks, mud. So guys, I want to encourage you to just endure during this time. But while you're enduring, have fun. There's simple things that you can do. Go for a drive, you know, go to a place like this, go for a hike, go for a walk, set up a picnic. There's plenty of places. If you're in suburbia, there's plenty of places that are accessible. Plenty of trail walks that you can do. That, for us, our minds have just been freshened up.
Yeah, we've reset. We're looking at things brighter. We're sharper. I believe what's worked well for me, and I'm not sure if that's been the same for your family, is that your kids want your time. And where there's proximity, there's superpower. So you use this season wisely. Don't waste it.
Yeah, and in the future, I'll show you a few other videos that we've been doing while we're away. Things that we do to entertain our kids, to interact with our kids, to teach them, to educate them. They've learned so much more about farm life over this last week than they have ever before. There's never been so many animals on a farm that we've been to, and they just love it. They wake up and they're keen as beans. They're just off. And they sleep well. For me, I've indulged on barbecue food multiple times a day. I'm probably eating 6 times a day, but I love it. I love it. And this is living life. You know, sometimes leaving, like Eric said, we've got to leave the noise, walk away from it, just so we can take in that serenity, in that fresh air, so we can actually renew our minds. Yeah, thanks for your time, Eric.
No, I love it. Proximity equals power.
That's it. So remember that, proximity equals power. I'm Johnny Vo, that's Eric Mancini, and remember, you got the power to change things.